Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you the most devastating and at the same time most revealing story of my life. A story that will make you completely rethink relationships in the digital age and how some influencers really operate behind the cameras. I discovered in the worst possible way that the last 8 months of my life had been a complete lie. The guy I loved deeply, who had over 2 million followers on TikTok, and was considered one of the most charismatic content creators on the platform, was only with me for a reason that completely destroyed me when I found out. And the worst part, I have all the proof of what he did, not just with me, but with several other girls. Stay until the end of the video, because I'm going to show you the messages he sent to his ex-girlfriend explaining the entire cold and calculated plan he had with me from day one. You won't believe the level of manipulation and coldness this guy is capable of. Before we start, if you could like this video to help me with the algorithm, I would really appreciate it, because this story needs to be told and reach as many people as possible. My name is Anna. I'm 23 years old. I live in Sao Paulo. I work as a graphic designer, and this is without a doubt the most painful and yet revealing story I've ever experienced in my life. This story goes far beyond a relationship that went wrong. It's about psychological manipulation, about how the digital influencer industry can be far darker than we imagine, and about how some people are capable of using the purest feelings of others as a personal marketing tool. It all started exactly 8 months ago, in December of last year, when I was going through one of the hardest moments of my life. I had just ended a 3-year relationship with my ex-boyfriend, who cheated on me with a coworker. I was completely devastated, my self-esteem shattered, questioning my own worth, spending days crying and posting melancholic reflections about life and how hard it is to trust people on my Instagram stories. It was one of those moments when you feel completely lost and vulnerable, you know? And it was precisely at this fragile moment that I received a direct message on Instagram that would completely change the course of my life. The message was from a verified account, with that blue checkmark we all know. It was Lucas, a TikToker with over 2 million followers, known for his humor and lifestyle videos, always very charismatic and loved by the audience. His first message was something like, "Hi Anna, I saw your stories and wanted to tell you that you're a very strong person for dealing with this so openly. If you need someone to talk to who won't judge you, I'm here. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger, right?" At the time, I remember my heart even skipped a beat. I thought, wow, a famous guy with millions of followers cares about me, an ordinary, anonymous person. And honestly, I have to admit, I completely fell for it. We started talking every day on Instagram, then moved to WhatsApp. He was extremely attentive, affectionate, always knowing exactly what to say to make me feel better. He said he was tired of the famous life, of the superficial world of influencers, that he wanted something real and genuine. He said I was different from all the other girls who only approached him because of his fame, that with me he could be himself, no mask, no performance. But there's something very important you need to know before I continue telling this story, because this information will completely change your perspective on everything that happened next. This guy, Lucas, had a very specific behavioral pattern. And when I discovered what that pattern was, when all the pieces of the puzzle fell into place in my mind, it was like my whole world collapsed at once. Please comment, pattern, below if you want to know what it was, because this will help the video reach more people, and I really need the story to spread to protect other girls who may be going through the same situation I went through. During the first 3 months, we talked exclusively on WhatsApp and Instagram. He always had a very well-prepared excuse for not meeting in person. Either he was filming content, had important brand meetings, or was traveling for an event. But the conversations were extremely intense and engaging. He knew exactly how to make me feel special, how to make me believe I was the most important person in the world to him. He sent good morning messages every day, asked about my work, remembered tiny details from our previous conversations. It was attention I had never received from anyone before. And honestly, I need to be honest with you, I was completely in love. I thought I had found the love of my life, someone who truly understood me and valued me for who I was inside, not for looks or any material interest. In the 4th month of our conversations, we finally arranged our first in-person meeting. And seriously, it was magical. He took me to a super fancy restaurant in Villa Madalena, looked amazing, smelled incredible, impeccably dressed. We talked for hours, laughed a lot, the connection felt real and genuine. But there's one thing that at the time I thought was cute and natural, but now I see differently. He photographed almost everything. The dish we ordered, the restaurant environment, our hands intertwined on the table, my smiling face. And of course, he posted it all to his stories. I felt on cloud 9 seeing that he wanted to show his millions of followers that he was with me. I thought, wow, he's not ashamed to show me, he's not hiding me. What an idiot I was. After that first meeting, we started seeing each other more frequently. Each meeting was a cinematic production. He always took me to incredible places. That famous rooftop on Paulista Avenue, Villa Maddalena on weekends, Iberpura Park on sunny Sundays, always busy places where there was a high chance of him being recognized by fans. Every time that happened, he made sure to introduce me as his girlfriend. People asked for photos, he always accepted with the biggest smile, and I was always included in the pictures. At the time, I thought it was because he loved me so much he wanted to show me to the whole world. His fans started following me on Instagram, complimenting me in comments, saying we were the perfect couple, that I was lucky. My followers grew drastically. In 2 months, I went from 1,000 followers to nearly 15,000. I was living a digital fairy tale. But I started noticing some very strange things about his behavior. Whenever we were alone at home, away from cameras and social media, he was a completely different person. Cold, distant, always glued to his phone, replying to comments, planning content, editing videos. It felt like I didn't exist in those moments. I tried to start a conversation, and he replied in monosyllables, clearly annoyed that I was interrupting his work. And more, he always asked me to post about our meetings. Post our photo, tag my profile, do a story about the restaurant. At first, I thought it was affection, that he wanted people to know we were together. But the insistence was constant and specific. He even suggested captions, hashtags, and photo angles. Then, exactly 2 weeks ago, on a Tuesday I'll never forget, I received an Instagram message that completely changed my life and made me see the cruel reality behind this seemingly romantic story. The message was from a girl named Marina, a beautiful blonde girl I had never seen before. Her first message was direct and alarming. Hi Anna, I know you don't know me, but I urgently need to tell you something very serious about Lucas. I dated him last year and found out that he does what he's doing with you to several other girls. Please respond because I have information you need to know. My heart raced reading this. My first reaction was defensive. I thought she was making it up out of jealousy or wanting to cause problems in my relationship. But something in her tone made me respond. What she told me over the next 2 hours left me completely shocked. Marina explained she had dated Lucas for 6 months the previous year, and their relationship had been almost identical to mine. He had approached her when she was going through a difficult time, had been super attentive in the beginning, always took her to public places, always photographed everything, and always asked her to post about the relationship. Then, she said something that chilled me to the bone. Anna, Lucas calls this relationship marketing. He looks for girls who are going through vulnerable moments, wins them over emotionally, makes them fall completely in love, and then uses it as a strategy to generate massive engagement and gain thousands of new followers. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I asked her to explain in more detail because it seemed too surreal to be true. Marina then sent me a series of screenshots of conversations she had with Lucas, where he explained his entire strategy in a completely cold and calculated way. In the messages Marina showed me, Lucas wrote, Marina, you don't understand the genius of what I do. These girls I date automatically become mini-influencers promoting my content organically and authentically. They follow me religiously, comment on everything I post, defend me when someone criticizes, constantly share my videos in their stories. It's infinitely better and more efficient than any paid advertising campaign I could run. And the most brilliant part, when I break up with them, they spend months trying to win me back, which generates even more engagement on my profiles. It's a perfect cycle of free marketing. When I read this, it literally felt like a punch to the stomach. My entire world collapsed at that moment. Everything started to make sense in a painful and crystal clear way. Why he always insisted on photographing everything, why he demanded I post about our meetings, Why he always took me to busy places, why he suggested specific hashtags, why he got upset when I forgot to tag him. I wasn't his girlfriend. I was an unpaid employee of his personal marketing strategy. But it gets even worse. Marina revealed that Lucas maintains a secret Telegram group with other influencers where they exchange tips and strategies on implementing this kind of emotional manipulation. They call it relationship farming or emotional harvesting. It's a group of over 20 influencers from different niches, all with more than 500,000 followers, who systematically use romantic relationships as a tool for social media growth. Marina had access to the group because she had gotten Lucas's phone once when they were together and saved the invite link. What I saw in that group was absolutely shocking and disturbing. When I read this, I literally had a panic attack. I started crying uncontrollably, trembling, feeling like the ground had disappeared beneath my feet. Everything I had experienced in the last 8 months had been a cold, calculated lie. Every "I love you," every gesture of affection, every moment I thought was special had been carefully orchestrated to keep me engaged in the role of a free promoter for his content. And the worst part, I didn't even know I was being used. I truly believed I was living a great love. Of course, after seeing all this evidence, I confronted Lucas immediately. I sent screenshots of everything Marina had shown me and asked if it was true, if our entire relationship had been an elaborate sham. His first reaction was exactly what their manual predicted: total denial and an attempt to make me believe I was being manipulated by a resentful ex-girlfriend. He called me desperately. "Anna, you're completely crazy if you believe this Marina girl. She's making this up because she's jealous of you, because she couldn't get over our breakup. Look at what she's doing to you, destroying our relationship with absurd lies." But I wasn't the same vulnerable, insecure girl from 8 months ago. I had all the proof in my hands. I had seen the spreadsheets, read their strategies, understood the whole scheme. So I told him that if he didn't confess the truth immediately, I would expose everything publicly, tell all his followers what kind of person he really was behind the cameras. And that's when, guys, his mask completely fell. If you know someone who might be going through this, share this video. And if you're a girl receiving suspicious attention from influencers, pay close attention to the warning signs I've shared. Always wants photos together. Insists that you post about him. Meetings always in busy public places. Acts differently when there are no cameras. Shows sudden interest after you go through a difficult time. And Lucas, if you're watching this, I have far more proof than I've shown here. You have 24 hours to make a video admitting what you did and apologizing to all the girls you manipulated. Otherwise, I'll post everything. Guys, likes and comments really help me spread this message and protect other girls. Subscribe to the channel because I'll keep exposing toxic behavior on the internet. And remember, you're worth far more than anyone's likes or followers.